Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Northern Lion Plays Hearthstone. I am here joined by a very special guest who is probably going to kick my ass in every single match that we play. YouTube famous, world famous, Total Biscuit.
I don't know about that, on all counts, actually.
You don't know if you're going to kick my ass, you don't know if you're 100% internet famous at the very least.
Yeah, it does bring along some advantages, but plenty of things which I prefer just weren't there, so we'll see.
I can understand that, and I've been reading the comments on your Hearthstone videos.
Why?
Because I wanted to put some context here. People who criticize you for your misplays, if they watch this video, they're going to be like, whoa, could be a whole hell of a lot worse. But you've been in the beta for a long time. I've only been in for like 24, maybe 36 hours at this point, so it's going to be a tall order for me to even have a chance here, I think.
Well, we'll see. I'll throw some... I don't do much constructed play at all, and I had some silly deck ideas that I threw together that we could try. And then, of course, we could play basic decks, which are always pretty balanced. And then we could do the very risky thing, which I think was something that Husky came up with, which is you can have the game generate a deck for you based on what you currently have, completely randomly, which can result in terrible, terrible decks.
So it's not even, it doesn't take like a distribution or something from mana?
It claims it does.
Okay.
It's basically an auto finish option, but it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And it gets worse the more cards you have, because it just throws together some terrible combinations. So we could definitely try that one out.
Yeah, that sounds like as long as there's more elements of randomness, I might have a little bit better chance. Right now, I'm just lowering expectations to the point where if I win, it'll be like amazing. Yeah.
Naturally.
So I don't know about you. I've just chosen my deck here.
All right, so we're going to go custom or basic?
I only have custom decks listed in my collection here.
All right, in that case, I'll pick one of my... I'll pick my solid standard deck.
Okay.
To start with, and then I'll try something a little bit more odd.
Fair enough. This is also my favored deck. It's the deck that I made 10 minutes after I got the game, and it served me well in the AI battles.
Good. That's probably going to be absolutely fine then.
So that frightens me.
Terrible starting hand for me. Good lord.
Sure. Yeah, I don't necessarily like this deck. Sometimes I wish I could pull my arena decks actually into my collection. Because if you need a really amazing arena deck and then it's gone, you just shed a little tear because you're never going to see it again.
Yeah, thing is, the arena decks can break all of the rules of deck building, which is why they just wouldn't allow that under any circumstances.
I've noticed that, but that's also, I think, what I like about them so much.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But you just roll with 5 of the same card, or I believe I've managed to get 3 legendaries in one deck before. That was pretty funny. I enjoyed that a lot. That was great fun.
What is the deal when you have cards with a gold border? Again, I'm such like a scrub in Hearthstone. I have so many unanswered questions.
All right, so gold border cards are exactly the same as regular cards, but they're supposed to be animated, and you can disenchant them for many times their regular value.
Okay. That frightens me. You wouldn't just tell me what that secret is, of course.
No, that's not going to be happening.
And apparently, I have focused quite heavily on Murlocs here.
Yeah, that's going to be a mistake for you, I'm afraid.
Uh-oh.
All right, so what I would recommend...
Oh, no!
Yeah, it's all gone. What I would recommend is that there is a cheat sheet. There are only 3 classes in the game that have secrets, yeah?
Okay.
And Hunter being one of them. There is a great cheat sheet that will allow you to learn what those secrets are, and then there's a set of procedures to deal with them, yeah?
Fair enough.
And I would suggest having a look at what that is. I'm just going to fire at you for the time being. When it comes down to a Hunter, the most common secret that you will see played is that one, Explosive Trap. Mm-hmm. So what I would have done on that turn is I would have first attacked me with your least powerful Murloc.
Yep.
And then if it had been an Explosive Trap, you'd have only lost 2 creatures, not 4.
Fair enough.
So you kind of do it. It's the concept of turn order, right? You know, it's the idea of you do the thing which minimizes your risk, and you try and whittle down in your mind what this thing could actually be.
It's weird for me because this is the first CCG I've played where there isn't like phases to each turn. So there isn't like a play minions phase and then an attack with all minions phase. And I'm still trying to like break mentally out of that. That definitely would have been the right way to play it for sure.
Yeah, I can certainly understand why that would be difficult. All right, Stormwind Knight, that's a nice play. 2/5 can definitely be annoying to deal with. That 5 health is that annoying number that just doesn't get... It's hard to get rid of.
Yeah, especially early.
Yeah, very much so.
Tear you apart.
Right.
My magic will tear you.
I'm gonna
apart.
squelch you in a minute. This is
Oh, is that
this
the
is
way
not
it's-
okay.
I'm not familiar with the Blizzard terminology. Is that the muting?
It is
Okay.
very much so. That's spam. There are a couple of things that have already become rather popular. I think if you will hear at some point, having played this, the whole "this is our town" scrub thing. That's oh god. You'll also be horrific. You'll be horrified every time you hear it as well, because it means that you're about to get murdered.
Do you hear like what I'm doing with the environment?
No.
Oh,
I
thank
don't.
God, because every time I play online,
That would be the most annoying thing ever.
yeah, I'm just smashing windows the whole time while I wait for
Yeah,
my
pretty
opponent
much.
to turn.
Yeah, I actually developed this annoying habit that I need to stop during videos where I'm just clicking the ground over and over and over again. I need to quit that.
It's like a vestige of playing StarCraft and Dota where you're trying to like keep your APM up or something like that.
I think it is. I think it's got to be something like that.
It's just nervous energy, I guess.
Pretty much. Man. All right, well, you've got a good amount of creatures out so far, and I've barely played anything, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay.
I'm feeling okay, but also that's the first time I've ever seen that piece of equipment actually.
Oh, the Eagle Horn Bow?
Yeah.
It's a very, very nice card. It's easily the best weapon the hunter has. You don't really have that many options as a hunter for weapons. Very few, in fact.
It allows you to attack without actually taking damage yourself, right?
No, you will take a hit.
Okay.
Like, if because I hit your Stormwind Knight there, I did take 2 damage in the process. But the principle of weapons is that you're trading out health for cards that are on the field.
Yeah.
Because the only health amount that really matters is the amount between 1 and 0, right? You know, either you're dead or you're not dead. So you can kind of trade your health out there. All right, well, you did this right this time.
Right.
Which is, you do your attack first.
And
It's
then
like, if it's
summon.
an explosive trap, you're going to lose those creatures regardless. You don't have a way of getting rid of that secret, so...
Yeah, there's nothing I could have done about it, I guess, except for
No,
that. so.
not a thing. Not a thing.
I have a really interesting. Well, it wasn't very good because I lost Arena like 2 wins, 3 losses. But I had a deck that was entirely built as a mage around like these creatures that gain +1/+1 if you have a or +2/+2 if you have a secret active at the end of the turn. And
Yeah.
it was really
I have-
interesting. But I got trounced whenever those cards didn't come up.
Yeah, I actually have an entire deck which I can show you later, which is it's all the mage secrets and all of the stuff that is based on that. So there's a total of 16 secret cards in the deck.
Oh man.
And it is terrible. It's a really bad deck. But I think you will absolutely love looking at it. You probably won't like playing against it because it's the most annoying thing of all time. But
Is it bad to play against or is it bad to play with? Or I guess maybe both.
it's kind of both because it's a really terrible deck, but it can also elongate the game to ludicrous levels.
Oh yeah.
Where you just die. I know you don't have anything good. You're just playing for time. Now, at the moment, I am losing for my health aspect, but that's not the worst thing ever. Although it can be against a mage. It depends what kind of cards you've got. If a hunter gets down low against a mage, then suddenly mages start throwing out fireballs and pyroblasts, then
Yeah, exactly. My magic will tear you apart and all
it
that.
will. It will.
Oh, that's a
I
good one
have
too.
succeeded in hunting you down. You're actually right there.
I have a problem. I mean, I don't have a problem. I'm talking to the viewers right now who can actually see my cards about how the heck I am going to deal with this. It's 90 seconds per turn, so
Yep, pretty much.
I should...
Well, there is a card that reduces it to 15 seconds per turn.
Oh, I have seen that one, actually.
Nosdomu? Yes.
Yeah. I haven't seen
I
it
accidentally
played,
put it in a
but-
deck once and it screwed me over badly.
Yeah, there have been times. Normally I play pretty quickly, but there have been times when that would have screwed me over for sure.
It's worse when you're commentating.
Oh,
Obvious.
yeah, absolutely. Especially you're thinking out loud and like talking through all your decisions, and then you're like, well, 90 seconds is not actually that much time.
No, it's actually not. Alright, I've got a couple of decisions to make here. Question is, how will I play this out?
I haven't really played enough to know like the intricacies between the classes and how each class plays against one another. But I always seem as a mage to like jump out to a fairly early lead on health and then just get destroyed once we get into like the high mana section of the game.
You can do. The good thing about the fairly early lead on health thing is that if you've got a bunch of high-cost nukes later on in the game, you can finish that advantage off.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that generally is made by newer players in this game is that they try to rush the opponent down immediately, and it doesn't work, right? So they end up in a situation where they run out of steam, and your opponent has every other advantage. How am I going to handle this one?
Yeah, I often find myself with... oh, I forgot that you had the weapon. But yeah, I often find myself in a situation where Like, I have 5 minions on the field, 3 or 4 turns in, but then 7 turns in, I have no minions on the field, and my opponent has all the momentum.
Indeed. So as you can see, I've got the momentum right now. I have more cards than you do, and I've about evened up the health. So things are looking pretty good for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a game where I kind of feel like if you're outside of that risk window where 1 turn is enough to kill you, then you can easily turn it around really, really quickly.
Yeah. Taking that early damage is not necessarily that important.
I am in a weird position.
Yeah. I mean, against a mage, the style that I'm playing right now is very risky. All it would really take from you is pulling out, say, a Pyroblast, and then things start to get really ugly for me really fast, because this taunt creature won't help me at all in that scenario.
Yes. It's not quite enough. It's a tricky one. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm gonna try this.
Okay.
And get rid of that one.
Alright, cool.
And, maybe we'll try this at the end of it. Okay. I don't know if that was the best that it could have gone, but...
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't know this, but that did actually save you from dying, because I had the means to kill you. I might still have the means to kill you, and I think I probably do, but... Okay, I've got to do the maths in my head now.
For sure. I could not have killed you on that turn, based on my knowledge anyway.
I can kill you now.
Okay.
And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to play the Iron Beak Owl. I have to silence a minion with it, so I'll just silence this guy, because it doesn't matter. His battle cry's already been used.
Yeah.
So that gives me a beast on the field, which means this kill command actually does 5 damage to you instead of 3. Yep. Am I actually going to kill you this turn? I might not. I think... oh, yes, I am, because I have the coin. I keep forgetting I have the coin.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so I play the coin, which gives me 4 mana. And then I am left with... Let's see... I think my maths is right. So then I play Unleash the Hounds, which gives this guy charge. Does that, takes you down to 3, and then finish you with a hero power.
Nice.
There you go. That works.
Well done. I think, technically, with 9 mana, I could have killed you on the next turn if you didn't have taunts, which I don't think you did.
Yeah, I didn't. I had no means to get another taunt out.
All right, well played on that one. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, honestly.
Yep. If it makes you feel worse, though, and I kind of hope it does, if you were playing a creature with 4 health or less, I would have instantly killed it because I had a snipe secret.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That was the kind of setup that I was putting up.
That would have stopped me because I was going to play a 3/1, 3-mana charge.
Yes, that would have killed it.
Yeah. By the way, I totally didn't realize that there is like an arrow key set up at the bottom here, so you can actually switch back and forth between custom and basic decks. So when you asked if I had basic decks, yes.
Yeah, if you prefer to play just basic against basic, where it's not going to matter which cards we got, then by all means.
It might be a good idea, just because I don't really have that many custom decks right now. The ones that I do have, I haven't really spent any time with.
Yeah, which of them have you maxed out? Like, because I believe these basic decks are going to be maxed out if you've hit level 10.
Okay, Mage is definitely maxed out. And I think Druid is going to be pretty close.
All right. So I mean, you can play Mage again if you like. I think I've got them all maxed, so I can play whichever.
Actually, I'm only level 3 as a Druid. But the problem is I've spent so much time as like one class. Like I'm level 15 as a Mage, but
yeah,
only level 3 as a Druid. Whatever, I'll play as a Druid. It could be fun.
Okay. I think I'll play Warrior because it is the class that I'm least familiar with, and I'm pretty sure I'm not actually maxed with that. Okay. Yeah, I'm level 9 with that, so yeah, I'll play that just to make it a little bit more fair, because everything else I'm past level 10 with. So,
is there any value to playing the Experts AI matches?
I think you can. I think you can complete your daily quests using them.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a good way to test decks out as well without like losing ladder rank or anything along those lines. So
yeah,
that could work.
I haven't gotten, I think, high enough in the actual ladder to risk losing position. Like I'm still like 3rd star bronze or something, 3rd star copper.
Yeah, I have to wonder whether or not it's even possible because obviously it's in the beta, so things are kind of a bit weird and funky right now. But if they go anything along the StarCraft lines that they changed the last few patches, they probably won't let you lose rank at all. But every season you'll kind of have to re-qualify, and you'll most likely drop a couple of ranks in the process.
Ah, gotcha.
And then have to work your way back up. But I don't know how they plan on doing it.
Probably not the right time to say like right after you use the coin card, but
Oh, double ball for coin. Okay.
probably not the best use of it, but
Well, I mean, there's debates on the coin subject, honestly. Let's see. I'm definitely not going to play that. I think I'm just going to sit here and endure your attacks for a while.
well, that'll definitely nullify what I was
balls.
doing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How does the warrior? Like, feel free to not give away anything that would alter your strategy. But how does the warrior play versus a class like a druid? Like, is it focused on? I guess it's based on the deck, but is it focused on like rushing down early, or like scaling up quickly, or surviving?
It's kind of more of a mid-game,
Okay.
in my opinion, because you have a lot of charge available to you as a warrior. Yeah, obviously you've got there's like basic cards that have charge, but there's also a lot of warrior cards that either have charge or give it.
Okay.
So you can utilize that. There's also a decent amount of cards that rely on damage being done either to you or to your creatures to buff those creatures up.
Okay.
So it can be a little bit strange. I think we're just going to keep sitting here and eating that. It's not the deck that I'm particularly familiar with, because right now it's the least popular deck, I believe. Most people don't play as a warrior. You don't run into them all that often on arenas because they're not amazing, and they rely on certain synergies to be really, really good. And they're just not a popular deck right now. Some people say that the armor up hero power is really bad, and that they should buff it in some way. But I'm not 100% sure.
Who do you tend to run into the most in arena play? Because I see like a
Rogues.
lot of mage. Oh, really? A lot of rogue.
Huge amounts of rogues.
I've only seen a couple of those, I think.
Rogues are probably the best in arena right now.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of good combos, but they don't require other cards to work. They also have an amazing hero power. Their ability to summon a dagger is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And it also gives them a very unique, weird pacing that a lot of people don't necessarily seem to understand. The idea that on one turn, a rogue can remove a creature that has 1 health. But on the turn after that, it could remove a creature that has 2 health, because you could use a hero power again to buff your dagger.
Oh,
So,
yes, yeah.
yeah, I mean, against a mage, you know that, oh, if I'm going to play a 1 health creature, then it is guaranteed to die if the mage decides that he wants it dead, because the mage has the ability to Fire Blast, right?
Yeah.
So that's particularly powerful. But against a rogue, it's that and more, because you can buff that knife up to twice that damage. Or you can throw down a deadly poison, which makes it even more powerful. So it's... And then they've got really annoying combos that are very hard to deal with.
I wanted to ask you about that last play that I did specifically. I see this card a lot, the Senjin Shield Master.
Yeah.
And it's annoying as hell. Like you
good.
said, 5 health is really frustrating, especially with a taunt.
It's an annoying amount.
Yeah. I don't understand when I have like 2 1/1 creatures out there that can attack, if it's best to like just throw them at you to whittle your health down, or if it would have been best to just like do what I did and ignore it. But it feels like something that's like mathematically solvable, but I don't have the solution.
Yeah, it's a difficult call to make, because if you're looking at a Shield Master like that, then you could think, well, what's in my deck that could potentially remove this in the next couple of turns that won't involve me throwing away cards? Yeah?
Yeah.
What can you do in that regard?
The answer to that question is not very much.
Yeah. I actually, in my opinion, just made a misplay there. In fact, I think I definitely did. Generally, with taunt cards, you don't want to use that taunt card to attack. You want it to sit there and force the opponent to make that choice.
Yeah.
So I really shouldn't have done that, and I'm actually not sure why I did, but hey.
Is it distracting you with this high-level analysis?
Well, you know, it always, I think anyone that commentates will play worse.
Yeah.
Even like the really big streamers play worse on stream than they would off.
Which is something that I wish more people internalized and actually understood.
That will never happen. Just saying, it never will.
Yes.
Especially about Hearthstone's probably the worst for that. There's a lot of people that just have very specific arguments and just like, hey, you're bad for this reason. Like, yeah, but you're the spectator. you can see things that we can't see because you're focused entirely on that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Although I will say, not to give them any more fuel for their vitriol, but I'm pretty sure that like 90% of the people who actually don't have access to this game actually are better than me just by virtue of the amount of Hearthstone-related media that they've consumed.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are
I
eating
think,
this stuff up.
Yeah, if you watch 10 hours a day of Trump, you probably know more about this game than I do,
Yeah.
because I play maybe an hour a day at most.
5 more. Okay. I'm just trying to think if I could... Yeah, okay.
You get rid of that Gurubashi Berserker?
Yeah.
Usually a good idea. That thing could snowball really hard.
I got confused because I played the card and then I forgot which it was. Like if I'm supposed to put it on myself or on you.
Yeah.
And that could have been terrible. Yeah, I did. I saw a video earlier today.
Incorrect turn order.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be fine because you have 4 armor, but
Oh,
the more,
right. Yeah, sorry.
I feel the more efficient way of doing it would have actually been to just lose the raptor and take the first hit on yourself. But,
Right.
you know,
I still struggle sometimes when I'm attacking with a hero because I play so much mage, which doesn't actually directly attack.
Exactly.
Remembering that you still take damage.
yeah, it's to be fair, like some people would argue with me on that decision because you leave the Bloodfen Raptor alive. To me, my mindset is it's a 2-cost creature. I'm okay with tossing it,
Yeah.
and I don't want to lose all of that armor because armor is the same as health essentially.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that armor that you have is just health that you spent there, but it's fine. I still now have to deal with this 5/2, which is going to require me to do something. I don't want to hit it with anything because if I do that, it's going to do a lot of damage to me, but honestly, because I can armor up, it's not the worst thing to ever happen. So we're going to do that, we're going to do that, and then we're going to hit you with that. Okay. So I take a hit, but I'm okay with that.
It's really weird for me to play this as someone who didn't play Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft and be like, I recognize all of these cards from Dota, basically.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
It's a little unusual, yeah. Even, like, obviously, basically, I'm playing as Nature's Prophet right now.
Yeah, Warcraft culture is so pervasive that it ends up in those different games, and obviously Dota used all the assets.
Yeah.
But I stopped playing WoW years ago, and I recognize every single thing here. It's like, yep, I remember all those things.
It's an interesting situation that I have in front of me. I have the weird bug where I casted like an enchant on a card, but it just keeps making like the twinkle sounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've encountered that one. It's
I have not run into that one. I've run into some weird ones where if you alt-tab too much, the graphics engine just collapses in on itself. I had one giant thing of particle effects and cards. That was it. It was horrible.
Probably makes it more difficult to play.
Yeah, it's the hard mode. I understand that some scrubs don't understand that, but, you know.
I've got to say, I'm really digging this catapults.
Oh, I love playing with that. Every now and again, it also sounds like it's hitting an undead minion, which is great.
Oh, really? Okay, this is only
Yeah.
the first time I've ever thrown it. I don't have any more stones to put in it, though. Oh, there we go.
And we could do that.
Oh, man.
Scarier than it looks, honestly.
Scarier than it looks or not as
No,
scary?
the other way around.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
yeah.
It's like, not as scary as it looks. That sounds intimidating. Oh, God, they all have charge. Like, yeah, but I just took like 4 damage. It's not really a big deal.
Yeah, but it kind of is. I'm going first, or I went first, but I'm very much on the back foot. Oh, no, I didn't go first. I got the Wild Growth card. I think, anyway. Okay.
They'll never know what
And maybe...
Nightblade, considered to be a pretty bad card, all things considered. But it's mostly because battle cries that do direct hero damage are not considered all that valuable right now. Like, it's better to have one that does damage to a target.
Yeah, I guess because then you can choose to be flexible and use it on a hero if you want.
Yeah, and it's also a 4/4, which for 5 cost is not that great because it's more easy to remove. Like, if I want to get... I can throw everything I've got at that to get rid of it if I so desire, but...
Yeah, and I mean,
think-
it's not like you necessarily have, like, the most valuable minions on the field right now anyway, so...
No. But I've got other ideas, so...
And the twinkling sound bug is back again, thanks to that new enchant, I think.
I apologize.
Oh, that is frustrating. I hate that when you like play a card and your hope is that it's going to deal with, or play a set of cards. Your hope is that it's going to deal with what you played on the last turn, and then that turn's over now, and I'm like, oh, I'm in actually a much worse position than I was before.
Yeah. In that situation, the problem was that since I have a Warsong Commander and 8 mana, I could essentially have played anything with 6 attack that would have instantly killed that creature. So in that situation, you've got to think, there's a minion on the field that has charge. The dynamic of the game has now changed. I can't assume that I'm going to be safe this turn in the way that I was last time.
It's a rough one. Like, I have something that I can play, but it's just going to get wiped out basically immediately.
Yeah, but do you want to trade it, though? It's like...
I don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's deciding when to play a minion that you know can be killed.
Yeah.
In this situation, I wouldn't be playing any kind of strong minion because I have a 6/1 Boulder Fist Ogre that I am more than ready to trade because it's almost dead and I have no means of giving it any more health. So... in this situation, you're gonna go for it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes whatever if you're gonna play something stronger, that makes it a lot safer now.
Unfortunately,
but you
now
still
I
have
can't.
this charge threat.
Yeah, unfortunately, now I don't have the mana.
Yep, sounds about right. I would have probably saved that healing touch, but obviously with this charge, you don't know what I could play that could maybe, just charge you down and kill you.
It was almost at the point where, like, if I didn't play the healing touch, I'm not sure I would have done anything on that turn, and that's basically, like, I might as well just concede at that point.
Yeah, I could totally understand that. I might actually be able to kill you.
It'll be a pretty big turn. I guess
It'll be a big turn. It'll be close. I can't even be bothered just to do the
I was
mathematics.
just going to say, you're like so confident that even if it goes wrong, it'll be fine, that you just wanted to
Well,
check it
yeah,
out.
I mean, it does take you down. I mean, I have full board control, a powerful taunt creature, and yeah, it's pretty good. All things considered.
This is more like how I was expecting it to go down.
Yeah, Core Hound gets played, which doesn't matter because I can completely ignore it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to play on the last turn, but there's not much I could do about it.
It's what I would have maybe done. Can you put a mark on it?
No, I got nothing.
You're just burning 2 innovates for this turn for just the sake of it. 'Cause
Yeah.
You know you're... All right, that makes fine. Yeah, what I would have done is I think it's just down to priorities, really, about... If you know you've got something like a Core Hound in your deck, you might want to hold on to something like that mark.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. There was a time when I could have played it earlier, but I don't know. I guess the sooner I played it, the less vulnerable it would have been in that situation. 'Cause
Yes,
obviously,
yeah.
you just kept pumping out like a ton of cards towards the end.
Pretty much. I mean, unfortunately, the Core Hound is not considered to be that good by most people. It's good in a Hunter deck because it counts as a beast, which means you can do, like, you could play a Core Hound and then you could play a Unleash the Hounds, which actually gives it charge and +1. Then suddenly it's dangerous. In a regular deck, I don't rate it that high because it's a high-cost card with only 5 health.
Yeah.
Which means that, honestly, it can be taken down. Like, I would have happily traded a couple of Murlocs out to kill that and just said, yup, good, that's gone. Easy.
Yeah, whenever I do a draft in Arena and it asks me if I want to take that card, I'm like, I can't deal with that. Like,
Yeah.
the damage is great, but the health, you got to have something to buff it, I guess.
Yeah, I dislike it in general. I think there's way better cost cards that you can play for that.
Shall we do one more?
Yes. Do you want to do an entirely RNG-based one?
Yes. How do we set that up?
Okay, all right. So here's I have to remember how you do this. So you go to My Collection.
Okay.
And you create a new deck.
Okay.
And I actually have to delete one, as it turns out. That's fine. I could delete one of my 5 aborted attempts at good warlocks. Let's go with that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... In fact, I'll let you pick my class. What do you want me to play?
Why don't you play as a priest?
Okay. All right. Priest RNG. Right. This is going to be interesting. All right. I will grab my priest. So now what you do, I believe you just press done. And then it says you are 30 cards short of a full deck. Do you want to finish it automatically? You then click yes. And it will build the deck for you.
Okay.
Based on what you've got. And then we see if that deck's any good. It seems to balance it out mana-wise, but I'm not convinced by its choices. Alright.
Mine looks all right. I've taken a shaman, but I've basically played 0 shaman, so it's made up of a lot of common cards, but we'll see.
Alright, okay. I will play the randomly generated priest deck against your randomly generated shaman deck. So let's give that a shot. I will send you a challenge.
Okay. And I have accepted. Let's give this a try.
All right.
I'm actually technically, I guess, level 1 as a shaman.
I am intrigued to see what it's given you then to compensate for that.
Is it the situation where basically as you unlock more cards, there's technically better cards behind those unlocks, so you really do want to max out a class if you want to...
I would really recommend maxing the class out. Mostly because, like, stuff towards the end, there's a couple of rares and a couple of really class key cards that are not included to start with. And it's designed to gradually introduce you to what's happening. This is a terrible hand. Good lord. Alright.
I had a misconception about the unlocks then. I thought, like, all of the cards were unlocked from the get-go, and then they just gave you more copies of them in case you wanted to put more in your deck.
No, whenever you unlock, it always unlocks 2 copies of the card for you.
Oh, okay.
And then as you keep going, you can get gold versions of those, which I don't think you can disenchant them. I don't know. I'd have to check. I'm pretty sure you can't, but it's just a nice little piece of progression, really.
What's the point of like disenchanting at the moment?
All right, so you disenchant a card and it gives you arcane dust, depending on the value of the card. Gold cards are worth a lot more dust. Okay. So you could actually, if you get a legendary gold, you can disenchant that for so much dust that it allows you to then craft any other legendary in the game.
Okay.
Which is pretty awesome. So the dust is then spent. If you go to your collection after this and you select all cards, the stuff that's grayed out, you right-click it. I think it's right-click it. And then you have the option to craft it for a dust.
Oh, cool.
And it, depending on the value of the card, depends on how much dust it costs.
Excellent.
Right.
But it's all getting wiped, right? After...
Yes, none of that matters. only the money that you spend is going to be refunded to you. All of those cards you get, doesn't matter. That's all getting wiped.
And do you know if there's going to be like an in-game trading house or something, or if it's all just going to be contained internally?
It's all going to be done internally. There's going to be no trading of any description. It's all going to be done via the Arcane Dust crafting system.
Oh, okay. So there's no real incentive to, I guess, like invest a ton of money and then get an amazing card, except for like personal satisfaction.
Right now, no.
Okay.
There's absolutely not. At least if you're throwing money at packs and arenas, you know you're getting it back.
Yeah.
So that's actually why I'm burning all of that money on arenas, because I'm basically treating it as practice that I'll then be able to spend on packs later.
Right, and it's basically like buy one, get one free at this point. Like, you're not getting your real money back, but...
Yeah. So that makes sense. But if you're chasing crafting specific cards in the beta, there's no point.
Yeah.
No, there really isn't.
I'm trying to figure out what card you played on that last turn.
It's actually not in the side.
Yeah,
is it?
that's what I was
weird.
wondering.
Yeah, for some reason that's not logged. I played Thought Steal, which allows me to steal 2 cards from your hand.
Oh, okay.
I believe it just copies them, though. It doesn't take them away. Okay. Which means I actually have a whole lot of crap, by the way.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I have so many 1-cost cards. Oh, man. Okay.
It's the first time I've ever played as a shaman, but I keep getting frustrated every time I face him because the totem spam can get so annoying.
It can get pretty bad.
Like the one that has taunts is frustrating. The one that gives you +1 health every turn.
Stoneclaw.
Yeah.
And the healing totem behind a Stoneclaw is the worst thing in the world. It's just like, why can't I get rid of this?
Who have you been playing mostly in Arena? I've watched a couple of your videos, but I haven't followed the series from the get-go.
I've definitely been trying to vary things up.
Yeah.
It comes down to the point where I will play... If I see a hunter, I'll generally pick a hunter. Because I feel the most confident with that. Because I know the deck inside out. And it's also the only deck that I've built that I've actually laddered with.
Okay.
So there are some interesting synergies and combinations you can play with the hunter that are not too outlandish. And it also makes your deck building process a lot simpler because you can essentially say to yourself, is this a beast? Then I should probably pick it.
Yeah.
So that makes the drafting easier. There are times when I play a hunter and I don't get enough beasts for my combos to work. Like, I'll get a card like, say, the Rhino, which means every other beast that you've got, including the Rhino, has charge. But if you don't then get enough beasts for that to be useful, then it's a dead card because it's actually very high cost what it does. So, yeah. Okay. But I do like playing hunter. There are the decks that I will avoid playing for the most part because they don't play very well generally in Arena are warlocks, priests, and warriors.
Okay.
Because I just generally won't get the cards that I need to make that work.
I've been staying away from those for now. I've like almost exclusively played mage and druid so far.
Yeah. Druid is great.
It's a lot of fun.
Druid is fantastic in Arena because you get a lot of these either-or cards.
Yeah.
That means you can be way more adaptable than your average Arena deck. What to do? You have a Senjin Shield Master, which I am having difficulty thinking of a way to get rid of right now.
Right, as we've discussed, pretty annoying.
Yeah, especially with the cards that I've got in my hand, because this thing generated a terrible deck for me.
Someone call for the doctor.
Okay.
Someone call.
All
Someone
right.
did-
Yes.
Alright, and do I heal myself or do I steal? I'm gonna steal. Oh, wonderful, great. It stole a boar.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
there's not really.
That was worthwhile.
There's a lot of stuff in my hand. I should have advised you not to, honestly.
Yeah, it was not great. That was not what I was looking for. I should probably stop using steel cards on a randomly generated deck on a class that you haven't leveled up much, because it's all going to be tapped.
That's my strategy. I'm going to take you down with me.
Alright, it's working well for you so far. You do have the edge. You have a slight card advantage, a health advantage, and you've still got that taunt on the board. Which you're going to heal, you bastard. Alright. Yep, that works.
We got 3.
I was hoping to be able to rush it down this turn. Nope. Not getting that.
Should be interesting.
Yep, so you're ignoring it. Good, that's a pretty smart way of doing things, I think, at this point, because you know that I can't reliably kill that Shield Master with these 2 minions.
At least for now, yeah.
At least for now, yes. That may change, and in fact it will. As we do have a way of taking that down.
We must cleanse
We're going to
the
buff that,
Sunwell.
which means that we're then going to smack you about with those. There we go, yeah.
I mean,
I
I
have
guess
to
the
sacrifice
Voodoo
these two.
Doctor is pretty disposable.
At 1 cost, and it already got the heal out for me, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem throwing that away. Okay, so that leaves you with... You'll probably trade that for that. And we might play that. Those are 1 costs, though, so... Yeah, why not? There we go. Just want a bit of equality out on this board right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I hate that one. Yeah.
Stoneclaw.
Which means I really like it right
Yeah,
now.
that's exactly the one that you wanted. It's ideal for this situation. Then you're able to trade out the boar for the higher attack Murloc, which is a great trade.
I guess I went first. How would I like to handle this? Oh, do this.
Yep, so your approach is just to rush me down right now. It's definitely not a bad idea. Personally, I would have maybe traded the totem out for the Murloc Scout, but
What's the reasoning behind it?
it's just a case of getting rid of my ability to do damage to you immediately. You know,
Okay.
because there's something on the board which is allowing me to damage you, and you can trade it out with a token that's just 1/1 anyway. So it's usually it depends. There's various schools of thought on it. Most people would say having control of the board is more important than killing your opponent's health bar, because when you have control of the board, you'll be able to do that anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
It might take a couple of extra turns, but you get a safer win.
I guess
think is-
also
think of it.
by not trading the totem for the 1/1 Murloc, you can then use the 1/1 Murloc to take out my 2/1 Murloc and get maybe a little bit of better value out of it.
Yeah, exactly. If I can find a way through the Stoneclaw
Right,
that doesn't
yes.
evolve, which I do know a way through that Stoneclaw.
Embrace the void.
One of the more interesting cards of the Priest deck.
Your cards and powers that restore health now deal damage instead. Okay.
Yeah. Alchemy Soul Priest is one of the most fun cards in the Priest deck, and it's kind of key to Priest decks even working right. You kind of need it because it gives you a lot of options, because suddenly your hero power becomes a 2 damage power that can target anything in the game, which is ridiculous. It's
Wow.
really, really good.
Yeah, it's like twice as good as the mage hero
Exactly.
power.
Yep, that's why it's great. It can backfire, though. There are situations where it can backfire where you really think, oh, I really need to heal, and suddenly you can't because it's doing damage. Or Holy Nova, for instance, which is a heal and damage, just becomes damage and kills all your stuff as well, which is not great. So there are situations where that's not a good card to have. You're gonna hex it. All right.
Not sure how I feel about that, but I kind of like
Well, you
it.
did just save the arse of my Shattered Sun Cleric, which was about to die to that Searing Totem, so thank you.
Right, that is
Unless
true.
you have a way of getting rid of it.
I do. It's just a matter of whether or not I want to, I guess.
Yeah. I think neutralizing the Soul Priest was the right move, though, because it gives me way too much flexibility.
Yeah.
And think about the fear you ever have against a mage, and when you play a 1-health creature against a mage,
Yeah.
knowing that a mage can just blow it up, double that. That's horrible.
Yeah, I guess we'll finish off with that.
Yeah, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
It's looking like this is gonna have to end with like some Wind Fury totems on my side.
We'll see. All right, it can happen. I've won games that way. Shaman could often devolve into that. Because Shaman doesn't have a lot of card draw, it often ends up being that way.
Okay.
Okay, and since I have a card advantage, I don't want to give that away right now.
I'm just gonna ruffle some feathers.
Let the pain speak to me.
Alright, let's be annoying.
Shields up.
Yeah, that'll definitely accomplish that.
Yeah, there we go.
At least you can't do damage to me with that anymore, but I guess the heal is almost better in this state. Oh, these cards. Okay, that's...
Yeah, I've got all 4 of them. There you go.
And there's not really much else I can do, in all honesty. I kind of just have to end my turn.
Fair enough. Having all 4 totems out, well, having 3 totems out is great, because if you have 3 totems out, you know what the 4th one's going to be, because it will never create a duplicate totem until you have all of them, so...
That's good to know, then.
Yep. Alright. And that's really, really annoying. But it is something that we can get rid of, because I want card draw from you.
Yeah.
And the way I'm going to do that is by using my Acolyte of Pain to get it.
Yeah, I could...
I have the most annoying card in the game. Awesome.
It's a novel strategy, I guess.
It works pretty well. I have a famous play which involved 3 of those Acolytes of Pain. And then the opposing mage did an Arcane Explosion to get rid of them, which triggered all of them. It was wonderful. Alright. Behold the most irritating card in the history of priests.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's really irritating.
I thought I had so much momentum, and then...
You suddenly lost it.
Yeah.
Well, if your only momentum on the board is tokens, you probably don't have that much.
Well, you're not wrong. There's not too much I can do about any of this, really.
Hex the Lightwell, yeah. That's totally legit. Lightwells could be infuriating. The worst thing about it against a priest deck is that priests have cards which can like double health and things like that, or give taunt. So you can end up... I think someone had like a 20/20 Lightwell with taunt.
That is absolutely horrifying.
A nightmare.
Yeah.
An absolute, complete, and total nightmare. All right. Thank you for the extra card draw. Much appreciated.
I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that was RNG, because if you pulled a Stone Claw or if you'd pulled a Healing Totem, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But since it was a Searing Totem, I was able to do that.
Right.
Infuriating, I know.
Well, I mean, if you could see my hand right now, there's not a lot of outs for me coming in the near future.
Squire, attention.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the whole rush you down strategy, because it then relies on, oh, I need something to come off the top of my deck which will help me continue this momentum.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't have it. I don't know what to do now.
And now you have, well, basically 5, well, now 6 creatures on the field, one of which...
Well, enough, I have a card that would give us both 2 cards, and I have no intention of playing it.
Oh, man.
Okay, do we want to get rid of your totem? Yes and no. I mean, Wrath of Air, I view Wrath of Air as the worst totem, but...
Is it +1 spell power?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which spell power is great, but unless you have a deck which has a lot of spells in it, it's a complete waste of space. So... And even then, it depends, because, like, it's +1 damage. Will that help you clear more stuff than you otherwise could? Maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Next turn will. I haven't got a lot of damage momentum up yet, but
true.
certainly do next.
Well, we'll definitely throw one of these out there.
Hope it's a Stone Claw. Oh.
Well, that's still pretty bad.
What could you possibly have in your hand that you can't play with 10 mana?
Well, I can play it. It's just like, do I really want to use... Like, I can play this card. But do I really want to give both of these minions Wind Fury? Not really. Especially when they're just going to die anyway.
Well, yeah, they're asleep right now, so you don't want to do that. So, yeah, so you have stuff that has Wind Fury, but you can't gain the momentum on the board to let you use it. Yeah,
exactly. Like, every time I play a minion, it's just going to be shot down anyway.
Pretty much.
So you got like 5 cards out of that one minion.
Yeah, he got me 3. If I'd healed him, he could have got me more, but I decided that I just wanted rid of him at that point.
Yeah.
Mostly because I actually ran out of space to play minions on the board. I have too many minions. And
Oh,
I can't
dude.
attack with this frog, so I can't get rid of it. I was just like, ah!
Do you max out at 6 then? Or 7, sorry.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7. That can actually be used to your advantage in certain situations. Okay. Look at some of my own taunt out there. Something a bit heavy hitting.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he's a bit of a nightmare.
I don't have enough damage to kill it, and even if I did, Divine Shield will protect it.
Yep. It's infuriating. It's really against the mage. Divine Shield's less important because you can always
Hero power.
take that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, use that.
Might as well,
Right.
really.
Now the beating begins.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm wondering if, like, you probably won't be able to finish me off on this turn. Oh, maybe
Probably
you will.
not.
But it's gonna be close.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to kill you, but it's nasty
Jeez.
regardless. There we go.
Oh, man. Well, that reversed pretty quickly. And I think
And it can.
there's basically
Yeah.
nothing I can offer this time. Except the only card that could have saved me, Stone Tusk Boar.
Don't just bore.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll
Here
give
it
him
is.
Wind Fury.
Obviously. What else would you give him?
And then we'll promptly get him killed. Oh, no, wait. We'll attack the frog with the Searing Turret. And then... Shit, you have a Divine Shielded...
Yeah, this is where I tell you that this is the most inefficient play. What you should have done, I know it's stupid at this point, but what you should have done, take the boar, hit the frog with it, and use its second attack to hit that shield. Because
okay.
that wind view is actually useless. 'Cause
Right, yeah.
You killed the thing before its second attack happened, but... Yeah, I mean, there was no way out of that anyway, so at that point, it just becomes semantics.
I just gave one of your own minions taunt. Just to...
That's very kind of you, thank you.
I just figured I shouldn't be making enemies. I'm in no position to anger anybody at this point.
Yeah, I'll give you cards now. There you
Oh,
go.
thank you.
It's a bit late, but I'm going to give you cards.
That actually, both of these would have been fairly useful at some point, but they wouldn't have saved
Yeah,
me.
sounds about right. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't want to give you anything. Thankfully, in a normal game, I wouldn't have known that you had jack shit.
True, yeah.
I would have made assumptions based on the fact that you'd only played totems the last few turns, but... Yeah. Alright, and I think you are definitely dead now. Man, I can't play my golden ancient brewmaster.
Well, I
That's
apologize for that.
God. What the hell, man.
Yeah, Lord knows I did my best to shut you down. And if I
Yeah.
only succeeded in that very minute way, then I still consider that to be okay. I still want to do, like, there we go. Just so you know, the elements will destroy you.
They will,
Even if it
obviously.
wasn't me. At some
But
point
at some
they will.
later time. Yeah. I guess you could call that a rain check.
Wow, you can call it a sweep as well. But, you know, knowledge is power, and I think I learned a lot from that, which is important. Thanks for joining me for this.
That's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Absolutely. If you're not familiar with who Total Biscuit is, what the heck is your first day on the internet? Go to... I always get this confused. This is going to be really embarrassing. YouTube.com/cynicalbrit.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have 2 URLs going to the same thing, because you can kind of do that. And then the one that people go to is always the wrong one, because Total Biscuit is my StarCraft channel.
Right, so if you want to
Yeah.
watch more StarCraft, youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. Otherwise,
Yep.
youtube.com/CynicalBrit, including
Correct.
content like the Hearthstone series that he's running right now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and again, thanks for joining me.
Absolute pleasure.
And I will see you guys next time.